Hi guys, let's dive in. You know we got to dissect some things. There's a lot going on, and in this community over here, that's what we do. We go there so we can get understanding. We want to be wise, so we have wisdom, but wisdom is a principal thing, but in all our getting, we got to get some understanding. There's a lot going on, and people have been all wrapped up in their emotions. They don't understand the big picture. I do, and many of us do, and so we need to talk about it. We need to have respectful engagements so we can learn and grow together. Guys, when you're dealing with ruthless people, you have to talk ruthless sometimes. I know that some people had a fit about how President Trump verbalized some things a few days ago. I know exactly what he was doing. It was part of a strategy. The moment I heard it, read, I said, that's part of his strategy. I know exactly what he's doing. I know exactly how he thinks. I just knew. I knew it was part of his strategy. He was being sardonic. Sardonic. It's a form of scornful, cynical, or disdainful humor or wit or words often characterized by mocking. It can be laughter that goes with it or even a bitter expression. It is more negative than sarcasm. Frequently is used to express sharp, dry, or sarcastic comments. But it holds a sense of scorn. He wanted to do that. I remember when I was dealing with bullies, God told me, he said, you know how you got to deal with these people that are slamming you in the lockers and all this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I've been through that. And I had to come out a whole different way with those girls. They were ruthless. They were big. They were ugly. And they used to slam me into lockers. And one told me she was doing it. Listen to this. You ready? Because I was light-skinned and made straight A's. True story. So my little niceness didn't work. I had to get in a physical fight. And I won. That's the only physical fight I've been in my entire life. That's true. But I had to come out a whole different bag. I had to get scornful with that girl because she was wearing me out. And actually, God said, you know, you're going to, how you go? It was just like David and Goliath. It was. And so I'm not going to dwell on that too long. But it was a strategy that I had to pursue to get her off of me because I was light-skinned and making straight A's. A lot of those people are dead. It's the truth. They were just mean and they were bullies. Oh, yeah. And they meant me harm. So when you have people on the scene, on the world stage that mean people harm, and they want to cause a nation to fall and holding their people in sheer fear and perpetrating fear, guys, Iran is the #1 sponsor of terrorism in the world. That's a fact. Now, when Donald Trump verbalized the things that he was doing, like I said, I knew where he was coming from. He's dealing with ruthless people, and they had not been confronted. They had not been confronted. Okay, so they were. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yes, he came across as harsh. Yes, he came across as scornful, but it was a part of a strategy. I remember when I had to strategize how I was going to get them off of me, those girls, those bullies. So you know that the man doesn't play. See, some of y'all have written him off as a buffoon and a fool. He's far from it. We've had people in our nation and all over the nation playing with other human beings' lives. Guys, even the leadership was playing with our lives. COVID, 1 million Americans died. The Obama, Biden, Harris cabal brought illegal immigrants in here willfully who were positive, COVID positive, and dropped them off in our communities. Guys, They were playing with our lives, as evidenced by what? What I just said. Guys, we've been dealing with past leaders, and some of them are still in cahoots right now. They haven't had any backbone to lead the right way, and they have been in cahoots with a global agenda to make us weak, and fall on our knees. Baby, there's a new sheriff in town. And some of you look at the news and you're just led around with your nose wide up like a bird, just like that. Whatever they say, you take it in. They're lying to you, manipulating you, controlling you. It is what it is. We're dissecting some things. I want to help us get some understanding. So guys, listen, we got a choice. We can sit around, y'all, you all. There are you alls, and then there's us. We can sit around all we want to and try to make President Trump out to be a buffoon and a fool. But I'm telling you right now, what we got is someone who has stood up to global thugs, global terrorists, the top sponsor of terrorism in the world has been confronted. Guys, I'm so sorry that Americans sacrifice their lives. I'm a Blue Star mother. I hate hearing that. But they knew that was part of a possibility when they signed that dotted line. I pray that all of the strategies and approaches that our president, Marco Rubio, and the executive branch of our government, his cabinet, I pray that every single one of them are successful. Guys, the Obama, Biden, Harris cabal set us up in ways that were totally diabolical and sinister, as evidenced by what, Janice? Let's start with the 10,000 people that were coming across our border in one day. That didn't happen by chance. They did that. It's a shame what they've done to us. I hope every single thing that they've ever perpetrated upon us is brought front and center. That's my prayer. One thing that has been front and center that has come up, and it probably wouldn't even have come out if President Trump wasn't in there, was the billions upon billions of dollars that they took from us in their fraudulent scams and money laundering fronts in Minnesota. Never, ever forget about the fraudulent scams and money laundering fronts that are connected with Obamacare. It was connected with the stimulus packet. Obamacare. The stimulus packet, Obamacare, Obama. COVID-19, Obama straight in the middle of it. The Obama, Biden, Harris cabal. USAID, our money going over to Africa and everywhere, paying for all these surgeries, all these different things. It wasn't helping them with farming, I can tell you that much. It used to. And then there's illegal immigration. Guys, 10,000 people crossing our border daily in 2024. Willful orchestration. Guys, we're surrounded with people that are clueless about what the Obama, Biden, Harris cabal did to us and what President Trump walked into. They're mean, they're vile, they say horrible things about him. Look at what he walked into. It's like, y'all, the people act like that stuff never happened. It happened. This is why I am relentless in talking about certain things. And I will stay relentless. Because someone needs to break it down and explain it. and remind people of what really happened. Calling Trump this and a liar and he this and he that. That man walked into a hellhole that had been willfully orchestrated by the Obama-Biden-Harris cabal. Guys, when we consider the mindset of many of our fellow Americans, the need for us to unify is more dire than ever. Guys, there were U.S. citizens actually cheering for the Iranian regime to capture a U.S. Air Force fighter pilot, the one that we rescued. That's how deep their hatred is for President Trump. But actually, it's more reflective of how anti-American they are. And they have been programmed. If you're looking at the news, it's propaganda. You will be anti-Trump and you will definitely be anti-American. I'd like to respectfully submit something. That if they committed to that level of brainwashing, that they wanted the Iranians to capture that colonel, that Air Force colonel, if they've submitted to that level of brainwashing in desiring harm to our military personnel, maybe they should just leave. Go to Tehran, Iran. Go on over there. Surrender your citizen, American citizenship if that's how you feel. Go over there. Leave America. There are those of us here who want us to form a more perfect union, which means us flowing together as one. Also, it's important for Americans to remember that the Obama-Biden-Harris cabal, guys, you cannot forget the billions upon billions of dollars of our military equipment that was left in the hands of terrorists in Afghanistan. Guys, this is what President Trump walked into. Does anyone recall the terrorists in the Middle East parading all of our equipment in front of the whole world in August of 2024? That's what President Trump walked into. Those kind of frameworks. This is a picture of just how out of control things were. I pray that President Trump continues to play chess and not checkers. By the way, does anybody recall Hillary Clinton talking about bombing Iran? Kamala Harris, I think she was on 60 Minutes talking about that she would bomb Iran if she became president. Anybody remember that? Conversely, does anyone recall? Do you recall the Obama-Biden-Harris cabal giving Iran cash? What was the end game? What was the end game when Obama gave them $1.7 billion and Joe Biden came along subsequently and gave them a total of $16 billion? My fellow Americans and my brothers and sisters, what was the end game? Do you see what Donald Trump walked into? And you want to say he's a fool. You want to say he's a buffoon. Let me tell you, he was being sardonic, using sardonic language the other day, and it was warranted. In Iran, that ruthless regime uses human shields and recruited child soldiers to clear out minefields during the Iran and Iraq conflict, that war. Guys, they don't give a rip about how they treat their own people. They had them lined up over there today around, they don't care. This is what they do. They recruit child soldiers. They will take the life of someone who asks questions by putting a noose around their neck. They have zero regard for human life. That's the brutal difference between them and America and the average human. Look, guys, President Trump knows exactly who and what he is dealing with. Yes, he does. Our president today agreed to suspend the bombing of Iran for 2 weeks while accepting a 14-day truce. Do you see why we pray? A truce proposal from mediators regarding the conflict going on in Iran. He said that he spoke to leaders in Pakistan, which have been a mediator between Washington and Tehran, and which had sought a 2-week ceasefire. Thank God for those leaders. These were conversations with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan. Pray for those men. Pray for Marco Rubio. Pray for the president. They requested that President Trump hold off on any destructive force that he was going to go in there. He ain't messing around. He is not messing around. When he was in there the first time, I remember when he did that, Moab, mother of all bombs, with Syria. Listen. The Islamic Republic of Iran. All of this is about a complete and immediate and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump said he agrees to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks, but they got to open up that strait. Listen, guys, President Trump is not interested in endless wars. He brokered 9 peace treaties, guys. No one has ever done that in the history of the world. He's interested in ending decades of long chaos in the Middle East. That's what he's interested in doing. He's already brokered 9. They had the Abraham Peace Accords. He's already done things. And you have people, the Obama, Biden, Harris cabal. Obama's meeting with people over there trying to undercut him. They can ready to hold his lanky behind accountable for things that he did to undercut his Trump's first administration. Just watch what happens, what unfolds. Keep praying. Keep praying. Guys, if we forget about our national security, we're going to miss it. National security is a paramount responsibility of the government, of the president, of Marco Rubio and others, ensuring a nation's survival. It protects us from physical threats, terrorism, war coming to our shore, and securing economic stability. National security, it maintains political sovereignty. It fosters economic prosperity. Guys, and it protects critical infrastructure and intellectual property. What else? Why do we need national security? This is what it's all about. It ensures a stable, safe environment for our society to function. Our national security had been totally compromised by the Obama, Biden, Harris cabal. The terrorists had billions and billions of dollars of our military equipment. They brought these people in willfully, 10,000 a day. Guys, I encourage you to sit down somewhere and think. Some of you need to turn the news off. Turn it off. You've just been eaten up in your minds. Can't even think not logically. Can't even use basic logic and deductive reasoning. It's so obvious when that's what's going on. Guys, there's a better way. There's a better way. Fast the news. Pray. Read a book about national security. I studied this kind of stuff. And pray for the leadership of this nation and everybody on Capitol Hill. It's serious what's going on. And you think that Donald Trump is your problem. He's not your problem. Oh, no. How can somebody be your problem that was brokered 9 peace treaties and is working hard on our behalf? These Trump accounts are going to drop on July 4th. I want to see what all of y'all naysayers going to do then if you have children under the age of 18, your grandchildren and your children. That's going to be the deal breaker and going to locate a lot of you. It is. It's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity. They're 18 years old, guys. They can put a down payment on a house, pay on their education, or start a business. If Trump had had his way, all of us would be millionaires. The nation is blessed when we're blessed. We're blessed to be a blessing. Stop calling that man a buffoon. Stop calling that man a fool. Pray for him. Everything I laid out here is true. And he's standing up for our national security. Those people in Cuba want him to come down there. The people in Venezuela wanted him to intervene. There are people in Iran that wanted him to intervene. Guys, y'all seen the videos. You've heard what people say. It is what it is. Guys, I'm going to keep dissecting this stuff because I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And there are a lot of others that get it. And we need to cry loud and spare nothing and help people to understand. It's sad when I see people saying ignorant things on social media. Just ignorant. Ignorant means lacking knowledge in a particular area or matter. But one thing about it, you don't have to stay ignorant, baby. You don't have to stay ignorant. You just have to get informed. Turn the news off. The news is lying to us. It's a tool of propaganda, no different than what Joseph Goebbels did, Hitler's minister of propaganda. It's a tool. They had something called people receivers. And they got punished if they listen to foreign news. I'll get tidbits from foreign news. And then I look at real-time speeches. I use basic logic and deductive reasoning. I don't count on the news because they lie. They have an agenda. They're manipulating. They're controlling minds. Take your mind back. Your mind is a part of your soul. Your soul is your mind, your will. Your soul is your mind, your will, your emotions, your intellect, your drive, and your desires. And we're surrounded by people that are eaten up. Their souls are eaten up, and it's so obvious. There's a better way. And I'm going to keep coming on here, dissecting these things so we can get some understanding together. I will see you guys, my fellow Americans, my precious fellow Americans, my brothers and sisters. I will see you the next time. You know, guys, there's going to be a next time. It's going to be a next time, and we're going to dissect it. See ya. Bye.